TikTok, TikTok, goodbye Zelenski of Ukraine? A Wall Street Journal report before the explosion in Poland says a lot. Finally good, all good. Alarm suspended in Poland, which was on high alert after a missile landed on its territory last night. The initial false information said it was of Russian origin, but U.S. officials later said it was an S-300 missile system that is a key element of Ukraine air defenses, which the White House has confirmed. So it was Ukraine that sent the missile to Poland. In fact, Poland did not request the activation of Article 4 of the NATO Treaty, which provides for consultations on a matter of concern regarding the security of a member state, as NATO sources reported to the Athens news agency a few hours after the information conveyed by American officials that the missile that fell on Poland's soil on Tuesday night was a Ukrainian missile launched to intercept a Russian missile. However, yesterday they had the Ukrainian President Zelenski exposed, taking advantage of the fact that on his joy for what he gets, he announced what they tell him. Therefore, after yesterday's explosion in the Polish village, he noted without evidence, Russian missiles hit Poland. The longer Russia feels it can go on with impunity, the more threats there will be to anyone without rage of Russian missiles launching missiles into NATO territory. This is a Russian missile attack on our collective security. This is a very important escalation. We must act, Zelensky said. And it wasn't Russia, it was his missile. After the clearance eaten by the Ukrainian presidents, sorry, after the SHIT eaten by the Ukrainian president, I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Today, the mass media suggests that the Western allies are ready to get rid of him if this is deemed necessary in order to get along with Russia so that world peace can progress. Nothing happens by random. I'm not gonna go into the. I'm just getting upset. I don't know how much money. Remember what the United States was saying. I shouldn't laugh. Saying we're giving Ukraine all this money and all these things. We don't even know where they're ending up. It's like it's a black hole of an abyss, and it's a bottomless pit that all the U.S. money given to Ukraine is going into, a bottomless pit. They can't even account for where all this money and all these arms are going to. Anyway, so this was a very, very major thing. Okay, it was a Ukrainian missile, and Zelensky said it wasn't a Ukrainian, it was a Russian missile. You have to act against Russia and all that hype, right? So before the attack, the Wall Street Journal reported that the U.S. government is urging Ukraine to be willing to negotiate. As the newspaper reports, citing sources in U.S. government circles, the question arises as to how much territorial gains are still possible for both sides, while at the same time the front for support for Ukraine is collapsing. With the rising cost of supporting Ukraine, both indirectly through arms supplies and financial support, and directly through inflation and rising energy and producer prices, the question of negotiations is on the table. The paper quotes U.S. General Mark Milley as saying, mutual recognition is required that a military victory in the narrowest sense is not possible for either side. Therefore, other considerations are needed. We see real practical problems. For further military success, we see a shortage of weapons, he said. The paper quoted another unnamed government official saying, according to the report, Washington has already signaled to Ukraine that it should show itself ready for negotiations. So they have no more weapons to send them. European diplomats also asked Zelensky to start thinking about realistic demands. This also includes the request to review, for example, the recapture of Crimea. Everything shows if something does not change, how soon there will be a goodbye to the hostile rhetoric of Zelensky, possibly even withdrawal of himself, if this is deemed necessary. I mean, this man used to be an actor, okay? He's the best paid actor ever in the world. Obviously, he goes around screaming, like a screaming Mimi. And what he's the last thing he screamed about was a total lie. So, I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.